Ah, drop your tickers here that you want to go over. All right, team, let's go ahead and get started, man. I don't want to waste people's time. We got about, 25 minutes. We're going to go ahead and look at some live trading and go ahead and put your tickers that you want to go over if I don't cover them in chat groups. Whether you're on a premium membership on the Discord for Traders War Room, go ahead and put that into the Zoom. And if you're just streaming live off of YouTube, go ahead and just put that into the chat group right there in the live chat, and we'll cover this. So we got a basic screen here. We're just going to go down and dirty and just look at a few things. Nokia, man. We talked about Nokia for before. We're going to go ahead and go into the 1 hour charts, right? Nokia popped pretty hard, decently, right? And you notice the kind of the bar tags, right? Going with Nokia. That's typical of Nokia. It's a heavily shorted stock, but it's also a heavily institutional stock as well. Okay. One of the things with Nokia is that we're long shares of Nokia. We don't really like to trade derivatives on this because of the price action. As you can see right here, the price action is pretty not so nice. I mean, yeah, you could have made a little bit, but even when it pops like this from 3.4 to 3.8, you're not making too much off of your um derivatives. However, shares, man, we've been in shares since like the threes and stuff like that. I'm a big proponent on Nokia shares long. Listen, here's one of the strategies with Nokia, okay? And I'm going to go a little in depth on this because I haven't covered it more so than other ones, but they have patents, like patents for, 6G, 7G, Internet of Things, and all this type of stuff, okay? If you guys are old fogies like me, you remember everybody had a Nokia phone, okay? It was the black and white phone, not even black and white, but it was the green screen phone. That was the brick phone that had Snake on it, and you could, use it as a regular cell phone. And then when they went to color, everybody had a Nokia phone, specifically when T-Mobile got them, and they were trying to push out T-Mobile before their merge with Sprint and all that stuff. All right. Nokia is legacy type of company, and they just been sitting in the shadows, letting the new boys do their thing, but they haven't gone anywhere, man. They're staying relevant, kind of like a boss on the low behind the scenes, okay? Watch these guys for a pop. I don't know if they'll ever get up to, Apple type of money or anything like that, but Nokia is definitely something you want to buy shares on, and you can take profits anytime you see pops like this. Like I got shares in the $3 range. I might look at taking some profits over here now that it's 3.7, okay? Because I got, thousands of shares of Nokia. But shares long Nokia, and you could go with leaps as well, but you want to stay in a range within a potential 2x on Nokia because when it pops, sometimes it pops and it'll go up to like $6 or $7, and then you'll start to see the sell off because people will take profits. So we're long Nokia shares and leaps. American Airlines. Now, watch this, okay? Because American Airlines likes to trade sideways. This might be a good lotto type of trade on Friday. Typically, American Airlines, you can see the sideways motion, man. It's a range type of trade. Down here, up here, down here, comes here, it pops. What it likes to do though is it likes to pop and then it likes to drop. So I would not be surprised if we get a drop from about here to here and you go right in the middle, about back to 15. Okay, so watch that. We may not get it today, but American Airlines, unless the news is extremely, extremely good on American Airlines, it's not going to stay elevated this long for that long. However, if the news is good and the catalyst continues going, you probably can get a nice push towards 17 where we'll see that resistance and it'll start to come back down a couple bucks. So it likes to pop, it likes to drop. All right. So that's how we do that when we do these. We look at the top, right? And I want price action, right? So I'm going to go to top here, okay? We go top, and then we look at our top of our previous level, right? So this is resistance, this would be support, and you just go right in the middle, and that comes to about 15. So on a weakness, you could see this drop to 15, make a little bit of money. IBM. IBM absolutely exploded. Okay. Now, I like IBM for a decent lotto trade. If we can hold this level, looks like we're selling off a little bit here, but coming down to previous levels where we're holding. So when we do this, we want to go ahead and put a trigger on this one. We're going to use the candlesticks. We're going to put a top. We want it to clear 193.25 for long entries. Okay. And then when we're looking at the bottom, we can just use the volume profile right here, which gives us, what does that give us? About 180, 187.25, something like that. 187, 25 would be a good little trigger to the downside. So we get one trigger here, one trigger there, and we're just waiting. So this one, we're going to kind of just play this by ear and wait because this will be a good candidate. If we start to see, we can put a middle line here and we can have kind of like a battle zone. If we start to see it holding above a midline, we can go ahead and go long, expecting move towards this. If it fails and it drops below this, we can go ahead and go short and expect to move towards this, where we should be seeing some support or resistance at that level, and then potentially breakthroughs for continuation. ADT shares long. We just put this into one of the portfolios. I think Stock Digger, one of our internal TW analysis, who's doing the 2024 portfolio building for Traders War Room, they got ADT on this one. Definitely, this is one of those that I'm highly suggesting you go ahead and get shares of. You can buy this on dip. It moves sideways, so you're not, even with shares, you're not going to be losing that much on dips, okay? But there is a potential for this thing to absolutely come back. There's talks of, mergers and acquisitions with this particular company, and it's just a good company, solid company all around to go ahead and get shares of. So that's one of those that you can look for Friday. UAL, I'm looking for the breakout here, okay? UAL has potential for about a $2 to $3 move. This would be a good lotto trade. You start to see the volume come in, you're going to go long, and you're going to go long expecting to move towards 45, all right? So the key thing is you want the volume to come in, okay? You got to have the volume come in first. So there might be some volatility. You see it's popping here. We want heavy volume to come in first. We're to the buy side where we can look for the breakout and a push towards 45. So UAL, you got to put that on your radar. That would be a great lotto trade specifically for you option players. Crown looks like it wants to break out. It has a lot of volume up here at the top. This would be a good one as well. Potentially a swing trade. Okay, you can go ahead and go with the 115, 120 out the money. Give yourself some time, but you're looking to go ahead and trade this one as well. I like this potential for the push. Now, this will be good if the market stays strong. If the market tends to sell off, people are going to start taking profits in this as well. As you can see, it's popped about $5 here recently, right? So that's a good, when people are buying, thousands of shares and stuff, this a $5 investment on $1,000 share is a pretty decent payday. So we're looking for this one, a push long. We're looking for the target first, 115, continuation to 120. CX, we also bought shares of this. Okay, shares right now we're hitting the top area here where we're expecting to see a little bit of resistance, maybe a little bit of pullback back to kind of our volume profile. But we think it's going to hold. Okay, the news is pretty good on this, and we think we're going to hold that area and potentially break out. So we have a long target of $10 at 3 to 6 months on this particular ticker. But don't be afraid to go ahead and if you start to see that volume, remember everything comes down to volume and price action, guys. You start to see that volume come in on CX, we're going to go ahead and take the trade and go along with this. Alaska Airlines. So basically what you're seeing is you're seeing a trend now, okay? Airlines, okay? Airlines are moving and shaking, all right? We're looking for the breakout here in Alaska. A lot of volume to the upside. I would say 40 would be an okay target. It probably won't move that fast, but if you buy yourself enough time, pushing out until the end of February, going in March with some options, the $40 target would be a decent one. You probably can get some good money, especially on a break. If the airlines break out, we'll see Alaska Airlines push as well. And like I said, it has the volume to support a move higher as long as it stays bullish. Western Digital, man, a lot of talk about Western Digital. Okay, a lot of people just you could just see, okay, it was over here at 48, over here popped up 61. So this is being queued as the next artificial intelligence semiconductor type of play that's not, the AMD, the NVDA, and the SMCI. Okay, so this one right here, Western Digital, watch this one because it's starting to get a lot of interest from institutional buying, which is that big money, and we can see a nice little push. I wouldn't be surprised if we can click out of here in the 58s, go into the 60s, and we could go attack 65. NU Holding looks like it wants to break out. Okay, so we're looking at a $10 push here. You can kind of range, you got the ranges here. You can kind of go from here to here on a breakout. We're looking at about, what's this, 929, 884. So we're looking at about maybe dollar 50 to the upside breakout, which would put us at about, 10, $11. And that's something. So breaking out on a breakout here, we can go ahead and go long NU and look for a push towards 10 or $11. Dow, I don't really like to trade this one, so we're going to skip it, but you can follow this one if you want, to get kind of an okay, like kind of trend assessment on what the Dow is doing overall, but I don't like to trade that one. I'd rather trade the regular one. Comcast, we like Comcast. We like this pattern that it's starting to get here. Okay, we got a nice little kind of triangle formation here, right? You got your trend. And then you can go off of anytime you're doing triangle formations, you can always go off of wicks. I tell you, I don't really like wicks for lines of resistance and stuff like that. But when you're looking at trend patterns, they're okay. But I really want to go off of this right here, which you can see is there. And we'll go ahead. So we got the bottom. Can I move this? All right. Right there, something like that, right? So we got our big triangle, we got our tight triangle, right? Where we're coming to a decision point, okay? So if we are truly breaking out like we just did here, we might get another leg to the upside, which would put us at about how far was this breakout? 4.6, 4.4, a $2 push to the upside would make sense on a particular breakout out of this particular pattern. We're getting tight, so anytime you get tight and you come to a point, you're going to get the decision point, hoping that this decision is a push and a breakout for about $1 or $2 to the upside, and then we can get our leg of consolidation. DLO energy, it's been back. We talked about it when it was down here, right? In this range type of trading. It's popping up. We got a nice little gap to fill up here. So anytime, as long as energy stays hot, we're going to go ahead and keep long on energy, looking at potentially breaks towards the 137. We got to do this in intervals, okay? You can't just sit here unless you're long, like, you're pushing out into like, mini leaps and stuff, right? You can't really look at, this $124 and expect, the $20 push, all right? So with this one, we're just looking for, like $2 movements, all right? So if we're doing options, we're going to go ahead and buy time, all right? End of February. We got to look at that, staying at the money, in the money as much as possible. That's how people lose too much. They go too far out the money and it's out of the possibility range for the particular stock, okay? So you're looking at VLO and you guys are going out 150 out the money, you're not giving yourself enough time. Well, theta's going to come knocking at your door, all right? And you're too far out the money, all right? Stay at the money, in the money as much as possible, and give yourself some time so that you can make some money, okay? You got to set yourself up for success in order to create that success. Yes, yeah. Looks like it wants to pop a little bit. We could see about a $1, $2 movement. We got some gaps to the upside. So yeah, I could see the push towards 55, 56. So paying attention to ES. Netflix, baby. What did I tell you guys the other day? I said 550. Boom. We've surpassed that 565. Okay. Now we're in uncharted territory up here recently. Okay. We've been here before, but this is here recently uncharted territory. No reason to think Netflix is coming anything back anytime soon. As long as we keep the volume bullish, we're going to keep rolling. So next target here is we're looking at 575. All right. So we hit the target at 550. It's about what, 565 right now. We're looking for another $10 push potentially on Netflix. We got the cup. We got a nice handle. We get the break to the upside, 575. I think this thing wants six. Okay, it wants six. It has great news. I mean, they're going to start doing live stuff and sports and all that stuff. So the news on it is fantastic. T-Mobile, or not T-Mobile, but AT&T shares. We don't really like to trade options on this. As you can see, it doesn't move too much. It's a stock that has heavy shares, but we go ahead and we like it. Shares long. So on any type of dip, you're going to end up buying some shares of AT&T, and this is one of those forever stocks. Phillips 66, again, these energy trades, you're starting to see a trend. The airlines and the energies, a lot of airlines and energies. Okay, we're looking for continuation on the breakout. However, this move here is significant for energy. Energy loves to make moves like this, and then you see the pullbacks. Okay, so we already broke out of here. We broke out of here, so we made, recent highs. We just need to break this. We start to break 138, we can look for the push to 140. Okay, if we can't break 138, we're looking for a decline of about $2. I don't even know what this is. Uh, looks okay, I guess, to the upside. Triple M, we want to go ahead and watch this right here, okay? It dropped heavily, all right? And then we hit the inverse cup and handle, right? And then we pop back up. Okay, so typically with the inverse cup and handle, you're going to get another leg to the downside, but we popped. Okay, so are we going to hold this or not? So we need to go ahead and start putting a trigger on this one. And what we're going to do basically with Triple M is we're going to go ahead and put a trigger based off of previous price action coming up here, but I want to go, so we're looking at a break of about 99.50, right? And that'll give us the good idea of go ahead, swing long for a swing trade. All right. If we're going to day trade, we're going to bring our trigger down a little bit. We want to go ahead and go with, price action. So we probably come down about here, right? So 97 would be a good little trigger. We trigger 97 to the upside, close on a 5-minute, 15-minute best chart, and we'd go ahead and go long with a target towards that $100 price tag. Okay. If we fail, right, we can use this volume profile here, 95.45 being conservative. Maybe we go 95.25, right? We close below 95.25, then we're going to go ahead and look short for the retest of the bottom here and potentially leg to the downside, pushing us towards 90. Triple M's a high trade today. Okay, that'd be a good trade to do. Specifically, uh, you can go ahead and buy some time. It'd be a good high profitable trade. CVE. I don't know about CVE. It looks okay. I'm gonna look at shares on CVE today. I wouldn't mind picking up 1,000 shares of CVE if we continue to hold this particular pattern. I need to do a little research on it. I'm not sure what it is. ASML, we've been watching ASML for a while, okay? We got targets of 900 on this one on the break. So ASML is a fantastic stock. It moves quick. It moves big money. You can find some options on it, man. Trade them, okay? It's a little big boy trade for shares, so I get it, man. Not everyone can afford, 100 shares of ASML, but if you can find a broker that offers this one and you can go ahead and trade some options, go ahead and pop them, man. We're looking for the 900 target on this one, breaking to the upside. XOM, one of my preferred stocks. We love it. Okay. We love to hate it, actually. Okay. We love to hate XOM. Everyone does. Everyone has those stocks, right? It used to be PayPal for me. PayPal finally paid the day, and it's back in my good grace. Right now, XOM's one of my love to hate stocks, and Boeing is another love to hate stock right now. But XOM, I like it as long as we can keep holding on the energy stuff. 105 is the target. CVX 150, same idea with the energy plays, okay? As long as we can hold 150 on CVX. Verizon, looking like we want to kind of break out here. We broke out earlier. We're retesting this area. This one would be one of those I'd probably want to put about 42.50 as a breakthrough. before I'd go long. So we go ahead and put the trigger, right? About 42.50. So that's my top. All right. And then if we were to go ahead and start triggering to the downside, right there, about 41.80, 41.75, we go ahead and look for the short to kind of retrace some of this gains that we had. We're probably just looking for a little bit of pushback down and back down to 40 or something. Marathon Oil, okay, it's not moving like the other ones, but we definitely got an outside bar. Outside bars are great because what do? Well, you go ahead and you put a top line here at the top of the wick, put one at the bottom of the wick, right? Match it with price action if you have it, and those are your triggers, okay? Triggers here, you go long, triggers there, you go short, and then you watch your trade, okay? Remember, triggers are not guarantees, all right? So if it triggers and you make a decision to go ahead and play a directional trade off of those triggers, you got to be able to watch your stock, or you got to buy enough time so you don't have to watch your stock every day and deal with the volatility, all right? So just understand that. Blackstone, we like it. Look, we're starting to set up pretty decent here. We're okay with Blackstone, all right? Nice little pattern forming over here on the Blackstone. It's coming to a decision point, okay? If I had to bet, I would bet on the push to the upside. It got some areas to clear for gaps, and I would bet probably 130 is a decent target on this one on a breakout. So Blackstone is a real trade that we probably want to pay attention to for a push to 130. Procter and Gamble breakout, okay? Looking 160 on Procter and Gamble. It's breaking out. It broke out here. It sold off. It held. It popped back up. We're looking for the break now, 160. NMR, I don't know about this one, so we're gonna go ahead. Shares, I mean, if you want to take a gamble on it, 445 not too long ago. Over here at 515, sure, buy 100 shares, hold it for long, see what happens. Google, 160 is our target. Okay, we're looking for the breakout on Google. The only thing, the only thing that'll hold us back on this particular these mega caps that deal with the artificial intelligence thing is this FTC, investigation on antitrust issues that deals with these big money purchases that they did with this artificial intelligence practicing. Okay, so that's the only thing that's holding us back. If we can kind of get past that noise, or we kind of show that the companies don't really seem that it's that important, it's just the government doing government things that they try to do with private companies all the time, then we can go ahead and break and push to 158, and then 160 is the high target on a breakout. Bitcoin above 41 again. Okay, so we're paying attention. Right, you saw coins start dropping. We're here, so there's no reason to think that Bitcoin's not going to stay elevated for a little bit. So those of you that like crypto, or you like to play those crypto-ish type of plays, like those blockchain trades, go ahead, and it might be a good time to go ahead and go long. All right, so I play a little bit of crypto now. I used to be anti-crypto, but I'm kind of digging crypto a little bit. I enjoy it, especially now that we got some of those future spot ETFs. The government's kind of giving it a little bit more validity. So I'm in it. Okay. So I'll go ahead and play coin. I'll play Mara. I'll play Riot. I'll play some of the other coins. I got some Doge just because it's one of those memey things. And why not have some Doge? It's cheap, some Shiba. I mean, you can buy like 1 million shares of Shiba for like what, like $10? I don't know. It's pretty cheap. Okay. So got a little bit of crypto, but yeah, 41 over here. No reason to think that we can't go ahead and make the break and push and make the case to go ahead and go up there at 41.05. NMR shares. Google, I play Google. You can play Goog. The same idea with Goog. Okay, there's two stocks, same company. You can trade them both. I play Google. You can go ahead and play Goog if you want. COP, we talked about energy, same idea as with CVX and XOM and Mara. Okay, we're looking for the break here. 115 is the target on COP. There's the Google. Devon Energy looking pretty good. This is one of those, I like this for holdings. Okay, go ahead and get a leap, push out to 45 on this one, or you can buy some shares and hold this for about 2 to 3 years. Thank me later. Kimberly Clark, it depends. Okay, you saw a huge dump PG didn't drop as much as Kimberly Clark did. Okay, so this one a huge drop down here. We're looking for it to break to see if it can hold. However, I do think that unless we can get the volume that pushes us from about here back up to our sideways motion, all right, we're probably going to look for the rejection and another leg to the downside. So be very cautious with this. If we don't get the break and we don't get the push up to 122, right? Back into this territory, we're probably looking for a short type of trade on this one, and we're going to go ahead and look for the short down to retest to 117. What's my time? 7:59. All right, quick blast, LRX. We're just going to go ahead and make little assessments here. LRX, I think it pushed too hard. I think we're looking for a little bit of a jolt, and then we're going to sell off. UPS looking like a breakout. We're going to go ahead and push this. 165 is the target. AW or OWL. I don't know anything about OWL, so it looks bullish. Okay. 15 to 16. We're going to fill that gap. ALGN, guys, okay, this one's interesting. Align Technology. These guys have been sucking here pretty recently, okay? People aren't spending the money on those Invisalign and stuff. We're popping a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and short this one. We're going back down to 250 sooner than later. Fidelity National, looking okay. Banks did okay during this earnings season. Yeah, we can see a pop, $1 or $2 to the upside. Peloton, all right. We're consolidating. We got shares long. Could be a position, especially with some of those deals that they got going on, for a little bit of a jolt to the upside. We're not expecting much, but 574 to maybe 650. Yeah, sure, but shares long, Peloton. General Health or General Electric Health. Yeah, this one kind of failed a little bit. Okay, so we got an outside bar trigger at the top, 73.25 trigger at the bottom. We don't have to go all the way down here. We can just come back up to about where the main price action is here. So 72. All right, so we're looking for playing this one off of the triggers. They failed pretty decently. General Dynamics. Ooh, we like this one. Okay, if we can hold this level, breakout 270. BP, same thing with the other energy stocks, pushing to the upside, clear that gap, 35.81. We're looking at Shell, same thing with the energies. We're looking for the clearing the gap to the upside if energy holds strong. RTX looking pretty decently, potential push and break for retest of 92. But if we can't do that, we're going to probably go ahead and give some of this back. 50% position from the high to the low. Just put a 50-50 line and you go ahead and make that your target. Schlumberg, I don't know. It looks okay, long on Schlumberg, 55 maybe a target over a long period of time, 3 to 6 months. Abbott, Abbott is okay, but it looks like off of this trim line here, we kind of sideways motion, we dropped, we're popping a little bit. Unless we can hold and make back some of this, we're probably going to reject and hit the bottom. ET Energies looking pretty okay. We like ET Energies. We'll go ahead and play this one triggers. We'll go ahead and make a trigger at the top, and we'll make a trigger at the profile here at the gap down, and we'll look for the trade. JP Morgan Chase, bullish, okay? You can't be the largest bank in the world. And in fact, I was reading, and these guys are the backup bank to the US Treasury, okay? So, just that's how important they are. Colgate, we like it. This is one of those stocks you want to go ahead and buy and own. Sideways motion with some broadening out here. So it's going to make a decision of whether we're going to break out of this consolidation to the downside or we're going to make a break and go ahead and push. Right now, the volume's to the downside, so we got to be bearish a little bit. JD, we're long leaps and shares. Go ahead and get them. FDX, looking like we like this one for the push. I got 250, 255 as a target. Honeywell looking pretty good. Breakout to the upside, 205. GFI, we're okay with this. Pushing to 15. General Motors, yeah, we're kind of consolidating sideways motion, but this one right here, we probably look like we got a little bit of a slide to the downside. Unless we can break, all right, there's no reason to think until we start trading and breaking these levels, we have to go ahead and be 50-50 on this and just expect this trimmed to go ahead. We're sideways motion, and then we get another leg to the downside. iSurge consolidating and it popped a little bit. Typically, when you get those pops like that and it doesn't hold and it comes back to a consolidation zone, we're going to fail. So look for the trade to the downside. Dogecoin, we talked about that. Cardinal health industry's been struggling. This one looks like it held up pretty well though. You got a nice little range here, bottom, top, kind of consolidated, pushed a little bit. If we can't hold and break through this area, this would be your breakthrough. If we can't break through, we're going to go ahead and short. MU looking okay, but we got to pop. If we don't pop, we're going to drop. Bank of America moving along, moving on up. We're looking at 35 as the target. Oxy moving up. As long as we can break this zone where we're at, we can go ahead and re-establish 60. AXP. AXP popped up, it dropped up, and then popped again. So we're looking for a trigger on AXP would be a good trade today. They had earnings, okay? So you want to go ahead and trade these bars here, put a line here, put a line there. We're looking for the break to the upside. We're looking for a break to the downside and go and play. But it came out of consolidation. They elevated, they dropped. They're still elevated in the morning. We're going to go ahead and look to see how they hold up. And if we start to see the trend, we're going to go ahead and play this towards 195. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Appreciate you guys coming along with us. We got things to do. We got moves to make. Okay, it's 8:05. We got 25 minutes before the market bell. Listen, don't end the week putting all the hard work that we put into to waste. All right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make that money. We're going to secure that money. And if we're profitable going into this week, let's have fun and trade, but let's not waste our earnings on going full port or on some crazy stuff. Okay. A plus setups. 5-3-1 method. Focus on 5 stocks that we went over today. There's tons out there. I mean, we just cleared like, I don't know, like 100 stocks, right? 5 stocks, all right? Looking for 3 reasons why to push to buy. Some side type of setup, charts, indicators, news catalyst, something like that. And you only need one reason why to exit, and that's because you're profitable and it's in cash. Take your money, run, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys on that bell. Hopefully, your Trader's War Room. If you're not, the link's right there in the description. Go ahead and come get some. And as always, if you're ready, follow me and let's go to war, man. I'm about to go to war and go tear it up, guys. So let's go ahead and make that money. Peace. Later.